Here we are in Railroader once again for, this would be day 5. Look at that. It's right up there on the time thing, day 5. I was wondering if it was a day 4 or day 5. We still have our little tiny railway. I haven't expanded it. And it's time to get on with the day's job. So we've got 1 for the East Whittier repair track. We've got 4 for the sawmill, 5 for the sawmill, and 1 for Ella. So why don't we get General 1 out here on duty? Let's just stick that on there. And I think the passenger loco, we might just do the logging job with that to start with. Few things going to the interchange as well, so we'll get those sorted out on the way. Let's pop around to Whittier and see what's going on up here. And they're both staying. That one's staying. So nothing else to do here. Both locos still running to their happy little content here. All right, so let's send Pax 1 down to where these guys are going. So we'll just do it the easy way as usual and go to operations and go doink. There we go. And we've got our fully loaded set sitting here. So we'll just whack it on the front of that one and pull them out. So car number 4000 is the one that we want. And we should... just about up to the point of General 1. So I think we'll just leave the Ella car there. Actually, let's take the whole consist and just bring it over into this ladder track over here just to get it off the main. Just looking for handbrakes. I would have thought there'd be something on. There we go. There is there. And let's... we'll bring the whole lot into the ladder, I think. That'd be a good idea. Looks like the other one's happily coming out with the log cars now, so we'll just leave it to do its thing. And of course they're trying to go against each other. It's alright, the other one's going the other way anyway, it's fine. So just small jobs on the very small beginning railroad, because I haven't expanded anywhere. I've still yet to decide, am I going to expand to Bryson and run the operations up and down from Bryson, or am I going to expand to Silver and run the operations up and down from Dillsborough? This little railway is just in contrast to my big one. When I feel like playing a small railway, I'll play this one, and I feel like playing a big one for 16 hours, I'll play that one, because that's literally how long it takes to run a day on the big one. Literally is 16 hours. All right, now that we've just about got this back into the ladder, when it pulls up to a stop in a moment, we'll unhook this Ella car and we'll take that up to Ella a little bit later on. When we run the passenger, we'll do it as a mixed. In fact, I'm almost tempted to jam it onto... it's actually not a bad idea. Why don't I just... Railway owner's prerogative. Let's jam the Ella car on the back of the passenger set now. And we'll keep an eye on PAX 1 because I want it to come back and get the passenger cars at some point. Just like one shunting. Let's go and see what PAX 1's doing. Ripping through the forest backwards, naturally. Could have just kicked this, I suppose, but is it empty? No, it's got dimensional lumber in it. Isn't it funny that lumber comes in from the interchange and we've got a sawmill right there? Right, so that one's going to C2, which is over here. And how full is this one? It's really close, so we'll get to get this out by the end of the day anyway, so we may as well swap them now. Looks like pack one's slowing down, so it's probably there. So why don't we just skip over to that? It is indeed there. So let's get the air through on this. Handbrake off, air through. And that's PAX 1, so we'll just yank that lot out and plonk it over here. Off she goes. So I kind of started this series because I wanted to show people that you don't have to be big in Railroader to be fun. And I do have to admit I am enjoying having a small railway because I can pick this up whenever I've got an hour or so to spend on the railroad. Let's pop back to General 1 because this is almost there. Now, we'll pull this car out because it's almost full, and we're going to have to do it either now or do it later. It'll probably fill up during the day and want to go to the interchange, would be my bet. So we will pick him up, handbrake off, and we'll just drag it, and we'll just pop it in over here for the moment. Just plonk her there. So, yeah, I think that's pushing back still. Yeah, PAX 1's accelerating again, so it's still pushing back. It'd be cool to have 3 locomotives, because I've got work for 3, but I don't really have the resources for 3 right now, because what's the cheapest locomotive you can buy? Another G16 Mogul? Well, we're pretty close. So if we look at our milestones, because, you know, it wants you to grow everything. So we could repair the bridge or we can buy the tractor silver. So that's 10 grand. And the bridge is, it's $1,000 for the first one, and I think it's 1,000 for each one. Diesel fueling stand's kind of pointless, so we won't bother with that. The only thing that's sort of swinging me towards having Bryson is that you can have the signals then. And at least the signals are fun. And Bryson's not very far away, so I'm kind of edging towards opening her up to Bryson because there's some good industries around Bryson. Is that far enough? I might just take that just a little smidge further, I think. Because if I open the line to Bryson, I think I actually can get up to Alaka. And that'd be cool, because that opens up the coal mine. It opens up the copper mines. I kind of like that idea. All right, let's bring that empty car over here. Actually, let's shortcut this a little bit. Let's bring the empty car to about there. PAX 1's ready to drop those cars off. So let's just pack down here. Oops. And it was car 4000 was the first one. So we'll just zip that up and plonk our empties down here. And that's PAX 1, of course, we want. All right, now back to General 1. Alrighty. Now we could kick this, but I'm not in any particular hurry. I was just thinking that if I buy to Bryson, I have to do another bridge to get to Alaka, I think. Because I like the idea of a Whittier Alaka railroad. I think I like that more than a silver railroad. So I think I've made the decision let's repair the bridge. So we'll start that off. We'll get some cars tomorrow for that, and we'll need both locomotives to deliver them because that's a hefty, hefty train. So I think I understand the future plan for the little railroad now, because I quite like Alaka. It gives me some different possibilities for passengers, and I can run an end-to-end passenger service from here to Alaka. All right, now we'll put that almost full one back on this one. There we go, so we'll just push that around here. Now, I will definitely need a third loco once we open up to Alaka, but we can worry about that a bit less for the moment because I'd like to keep one for shunting that end of the line. And I think we'll be running mixed trains, so I think this one labelled PAX 1, I think what that might just become, go back into customize, I think we might just call this General 2. VSBR. And we'll change General 1 as well. VSBR number 1. There we go. There we go. And we'll apply this handy. Whack that off. Now, everything else in this train is getting delivered to here. So we'll put that over there. I think the other one's done. It is. Good. Handbrake that. This is VSBR 2, this one. So this one's going to go back to the repair track. Oops. And we can either put that... actually, I'm not sure if... let's just have a look. It's a pity this isn't a repair track. But we can either put it here at the end and have just one way in and out of the engine shed. But I think that's restricting us a little bit. So what I might just do is shove it in here. So it's partway into the shed. Okay. kind of think... I did hear the other one coming. Thought I did. And since this guy's going to be finished, we'll send it out on the passenger run. And Chantella as well. All right, handbrake on, disconnect, and let's get her onto the front of the passenger service, I guess. I don't have anywhere to turn them around currently. There is a Y for this location that I could get, but couldn't really be bothered. So these ones should all be where they need to be now. Let's just check and make sure. I don't know where that one's actually headed off to, so let's just stop that one, shall we? Because I think I just told the wrong locomotive to get on here. I think that's why it started moving then. Now, we do still have this car that needs to be delivered. So we're just going to plonk that right at the end here. I was thinking about not blocking the way through the shed, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change much. And that's going to have to go all the way around, so it doesn't... These guys probably won't conflict with each other too much, I don't think. Let's get this set for passenger ops. Copy that to both of them. And let's get some oil into these. There we go. Let's release that. And let's just inspect this one. And we're going to bring that train through to Ella. So we will bring it through right up to here, I think. That's the one that's moving. We want this one. Off goes the passenger train. Well, it's a mixed, really. wonder if I can change any contracts yet. No, I can pop that up to tier 2. I can pop that up to tier 2. Can't do anything with them as yet. And I can pop that up to tier 2 as well. Still only wants 8 cars a day for that. Ella Bridge site, nothing yet. We can bump that up to tier 2. And that's about it. That's all we can really do at the moment. There you go. That's it for this little fella. So there's nothing else for it to do, really, so we'll just plonk him back in the shed. And we'll stick with this one. Nah, it's a bit boring, that one. Maybe that one? Yeah, I quite like that one. Still don't like that one much either. Ah, someone's at the door. I'll be back.
Someone's at the entryway doorbell.
Ah, excuse the interlude there. Looks like this one's headed off to Ella now. There's nothing stopping you actually running down to silver, but because you don't own the track, you can't have any contracts and you can't drop passengers there. So I think we'll just leave that. How many passengers have we got? 27 in that one. 32 in that one. One of the important things to remember when you're driving in manual mode is things like releasing the brakes before you hit your target speed, because they take a little while to release, even with such a short train. And we just have to wait for the passengers to unload now, which they should. There they go. Now, we will, of course, take them back, but that's in a little while because we've got to do some shunting. And we want, there's 49 going back to Whittier. Don't know why they don't just walk, personally. What do they wait at the station all day for? Once the passengers all unload, we'll pull the carriages forward, because this one needs to go into Ella House, which is just over there. Let's have a quick look and see if either of these need to go back to Whittier. No. Nowhere near it. Alrighty. All right, pulling her back into Ella. There we go. They're loading up now. All right, that's it. Well, this day's just about done. We're in hurry up and wait mode. That should be it for the passengers. They should start unloading. Let's just quickly check and see if anything needs to go back yet. It doesn't. How about our stencils? No, they're both fine. So we can leave the, as long as they actually are in the station and unloading, just making sure they are. Yep, they are. So let's just bung the handbrake on them because they don't need to go anywhere else today. And we'll take number 2 down and fill it up with water. All right, let's set that with an A waypoint and let's just head along down the track. I'm not going to bother putting more coal in it because we've used just about nothing. So it's not worth it. Logs are still unloading. Just tell this one to come into the shed, and when it gets here, Equipment's 100%. No need to touch that one. What about you? 99. So we will actually set your destination as the East Wheel repair track, and we'll make sure you get there before we sleep, because that will be important. I was just watching that flying through there thinking, is that still on manual mode? But no, it's not. It's fine. Once that one stops, I'll pop it into sleep mode. Yeah, we're starting to make some cash. And cheapest loco is 5670, so no, we won't be buying a loco, even though it would be really, really handy to have a third one to manage this. All right, we're heading into day 6. And that'll be the end of this video. We'll do a separate one for day 6, publish that at a different time. So thank you very much for watching. It's probably about as exciting as watching paint dry, but I'm enjoying it. Anyway, have fun, folks. See you later. Bye.
We played a game.